But okay, fifth episode. Okay, let's see how much I can do considering it's already 9 and 17 p.m. I may sometime later in this video have to speak like I am in a ASMR, even though I don't like it. Only because someone already might go to bed. Okay, let's go. Let's remember how this enemy turned it out. Yay! Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, it's a fine anime, I guess. I like it. Okay. Something I actually planning, really actually planning, is doing the states for enemies that do not have states. Like, they have states, but not the node state machine, and just like the annual match state machine. I really want to do this to other enemies. The slime enemy, for example, don't need this, you know? But there's like the wood enemy, which has some weird stuff going on. Yeah, this is, for example, an enemy that I need to make the states in order to make this code more readable. And I like making stuff readable. So actually, maybe I want to back up this. And for this, let me actually go to GitHub Desktop. And, back up. Maybe I want to close Godot. And actually, let me pause recording. Okay, here I am back. The backup on GitHub is already set. And I'm pretty sure GitHub is not supposed to be used for backups, but I did this anyway. So actually, let me first try to understand what are the states there that are going to be needed. And actually now I need to actually just go state machine. Then I can add a base state, which I do from the class instead of the node. Code inconsistencies. But okay, NT is of course the enemy, the state machine of course is one. So you see that the wood enemy actually first works on process because the physics process is being disabled. And as I explained multiple times, the process is not physics based. It does not work as if it was a constant 60 FPS. Process depends on the current FPS, and for something physics like this is not good. So actually, let me just verify something. I need to first understand what are the states in order for me to make the new states. So first, I actually might think I need to make a state call idle, and then one called prepare, no, or like cooldown maybe, and this new one called falling. And actually cooldown, let's just call prepare or detected, because the idle is the base state, Like, for example, the idle is basically what's going on process. Then this is what is happening on the prepare, Yes, this is what is happening on the prepare. This only line. And this is what is happening on the falling. Okay? So actually, let's just go and figure out what I need to do. Here I'm going to go hazards, scripts, level 1, and add this new folder called states. And let's call this. Actually, let's go like creating classes, to be honest. Let's make like this. would fall. Okay, let me pause for a second. I like pausing when my family enters my bedroom. Yeah. Okay, so actually, I want to do something here. I'll just delete the states I tried making for the cat enemy. No, I'll add this to favorites. Yay! And actually, let me just add enemy to the name too. Okay, no. Let me just name those in a simple way, actually. Okay. So now we're going to edit the code. And actually let me do something here on the state machine. I'm going to connect the states got set here and do something like first. Let's add here the state machine. Export variable state. No, I just call SM. I always forget. Okay, state machine. And now SM change state. The new state is idle. The old state is null because there's no state yet. And actually, there might be something here already that I might need to understand later. Okay. Okay, the gravity. The gravity is, I think, is actually being called only one state, right? I may want to make a resource for storing the enemies. The enemies, stats. Because the player has an stats handlers. You see? Here the player has a stats handler. But maybe I want to do that for other enemies. Maybe I want to make so the wood enemy extends from, an enemy, a new class. Maybe I can have an static enemy class, enemies that would just stay quiet, like do no movement. Maybe I want to make a class for moving enemies, and then of course a better boss class, a better projectile class. Okay, that's just, let's not overthink about it. Gravity is only being called in what situations? Let me see. Okay, match case. Okay, only in those. Okay, for check player, what we're using here, check player, we're using this T's, something called T's detector and the fall detector, which are those raycasts in here. And am I recording? Yes, I am. Okay, let's just idle. Trying to call this script. States. Call this wood idle. Enter state. There's no enter state. So actually, let's add here the checked for player, which I generally think is only being used here, right? It is. Okay, let me see. Update target position is another function, so in this one, I think I actually I can add, this isn't a function that's being called on a outside script, so I can actually add underscores to make, cool looking. So here on the physics update, I'll call check for player, and actually, ignore. Okay, first let's set here. Let's make so we have a fault detector. Fault detector is raycast2d, and also we have a tease detector to a raycast2d. Now we want a player reference, And let me go back in here and let me see if this place reference only being called in here. Yes, it's only being called in here. So actually, yes, I can add the I can add, can copy and paste this variable here. So yes, start G pose. Yeah, that's what's the start G pose? Start global position in it. Yes, already var. Okay, so actually let's go like ready. Let's go SGP, Let's call it SGP for short. Vector2 equals entity, entity global position. Will this work? I don't know. So yeah, but actually let's go call this SGP, SGP to fault def. It's a timer. That is a made timer, which it may only be using. No, okay, this is actually something that's going to be used in the. Okay, let me think. Because that's something that's going to be used in 3 of the classes, and I don't want to make make the same variable. I want to reuse this in some way. So what am I going to do? Maybe I want to store this one variable in something else. Like for example, an actual timer. So actually, let's add here in the stats handlers, let's add a timer. Call this the fault timer. And the value for the timer, if I open here, is 3/4 of a second. So actually let's set this to 1 shot. And for state we can reference the timer. So fault timer is timer. Then we can go in here and set. Okay, let's. Okay, when this lags, when this crashes, actually, I need to keep switching tabs. I hope it returns. Fault timer, wait time. Tease animation. Okay, that's a animation player 2D. So we're actually called this tease animation player. And for information, what this does is that it, messes with the self-modulate and actually plays an audio. You see? Okay. So yeah. Okay, this I can remove because it will not go anywhere. Okay, this I can remove. Okay, let me close this. Okay. Now let's here set whatever I need. Fall detector, tease detector, fall timer, tease and in. And maybe I want to make so this tease and in animation I actually save this resource because it's going to be used in the aggressive enemy too. So actually let's see. Manage animations, save as, composition, resources, animations. Yeah, let me call this too. Let me call this tease animations. Okay. So here we have the idle state. Now we need the detected state, which is actually this. It's only it's actually just starts the timer. And if the timer, it's over, it changes to. So yeah, maybe I don't need to call detected. Maybe I don't need to actually add anything here because there's nothing to be set. I think. So actually let's go to. Let's remove the set physics process. Call sm dot change state detected self. And for any call of this, I can actually just replace it. And here we go. Maybe it works. But before I remove everything, I want to make sure everything is done. And now if... Okay, I actually want to make so this starts. So actually, I'm going to go like... Okay, let's add some utility to this. Okay. Detect it. And let's just call this on an enter state. Pass. Export variable, fall timer, fall. No, it's actually just timer. The enter state is fall timer start. And that's what this is what we're going to do. On timer, on fall timer, timeouts. SM change states, fall self. And actually here on ready, I'm going to make so fall timer, timeout, connect, on fall timer, timeout. All right. Okay, maybe it's okay. You know? Okay. And for the fall, not the Gorillaz album, we actually want to do whatever this is. Okay, the tease animation will play the reset, the bass sprite will play falling. This will, if it's on floor, this will happen. And this will happen, and you know. So actually, let's just go and copy out this and add this and the inheritance. And not the way though. Just stand the script. Would fall. So this is a physics update. Okay. Never mind, I can remove this. Okay, now let's add whatever is missing, if you understand me. Okay, is there anything that should be happening here in the... Yes, this. This I can add to here. If is on floor, the enemy dies. Okay, it crashed again. I love recording videos. Okay, now let's just set the export variables. Season animation player. In order of appearance, animate sprite 2D. Is on floor is actually entity that is on floor. Okay, the break as effects is, you know, for variable break as effects equals as effect 2D. I have my own sound effect class. Entity that level position, the health handler. Okay, so you actually now need that. Health handler. Health handler. The gravity. So yes, the gravity is actually here. But maybe now I can add it to here. So actually let's create a var gravity and call it, you know, and that's okay, flow to the, and we need now this line of code. No, this one's actually going to be on ready. Just so that I don't overflow, I guess. I don't know. Okay, wait. We need the why is okay? I need the fall detector. So I actually just go in here, export var fall detector, close. Raygas to the. Okay, now the jump gravity handler. This jump gravity handler. Entity. Okay, this like I choose, so I go play enemy. Play. Got this. I'm going to make this play as effects. Let's make it clear. Play as effects. Okay, now we need another sound effect. Fall sound effect. Sound effect 2D. Play as effects. Okay. Oh yeah. Actually, I don't need this because this will be also enter here on, you know, the enter state. Once it's entered, there's no need to do this. So yeah. Okay. Everything is fine in here. Help handler here. Jump gravity handler here. Fall detector here. This animation here. Break sound effect here. Bounce effect here. Base sprite in here. And actually, let me see something. Let me organize this code better. Want to make this better. I'm going to separate this into groups because I like stats, physics, and this juicing. Group stats. Export. Group Stats. Okay, now let's do this one for physics. Physics. Let's do this one for juicing. And let's remove the base price from here and put it up here. And actually, let's move the gravity 10 here. Just like this. Okay, will it work? I don't know. Because now, if so, let me check your stuff. Okay, ready function, okay. Ready function, everything is set. Process, everything is set. Physics process, everything is set. This is set. If the health handler reaches 0 is set. Actually, I have the on default, so this one actually isn't being used anymore. Pretty sure this one also isn't being used anymore. Yes, it's not being used anymore. Same machine, okay. Correct. What else is not being used in here? Oh yeah, this. Maybe everything. Yes. Everything's not being used anymore here, you see? Yay. Oh no, yeah, I need to actually keep the direction handler here. Cause they actually do stuff. I forget about it. This one actually do stuff in here and I always forget. So this one actually, let's go drop this here. Hope this doesn't break anything. And here, let's just export group stats. Wait, no, those are actually physics. Okay, this I can remove it. And it works. I guess it works. And for testing this, nothing better than adding a wood enemy here. Setting the direction to -1. Okay. Direction -1. Let's just try. Okay, let me enable collisions in here. No, actually, why don't I try this on the level, by the way? Let's see. Am I actually setting the timer for starting? I don't remember now. Okay, something is wrong. Default timer.start. Okay, I guess, simply I guess, this isn't detecting. Okay, let me see. Okay, I actually need to go here and set the visible collision shapes. Okay. Oh, okay, I get it now. Because I get what's happening now. You see, this also works on also needs to work on the detected state. So this actually is a detected. It's actually not a state. It's a sub state from the idle. So actually, if I really want, I can, you know, actually let's make this. Let's add here a variable detected boolean equals false because it's not detected yet. And I can delete the detected state and call this idle detected. No, it's like detect. So here I'm going to change this to detect, and let's just rename the scripts. Showing file system cancel detect. And since it's not being used, I can delete it or not. Wait, let's just confirm it works here. I need to set this on the ready function. Alright. Okay. Fault timer. Yes, I need now to copy this function here, which I'm going to add here. Okay. Here I need to start the timer. Okay, so let's call this detect. Oh yeah, okay. Now let's remember. If not detected, goes true, fault timer start. Okay. Okay, let's remove the state. This call here. Okay, if this is actually calling reset. Okay, no, I just realized this actually needs to be called fall. And actually, let's put the seasoning reset on the fall. Actually has this, right? Yes, it has. So no need for this. No need for overcomplicating. Okay, fall timer starts. Let me see if I ain't breaking anything. Yo, it works better now, to be honest. Actually, no, it. Actually, no, the player. Let's try it in practice. Because I'm pretty sure this is not the right height for that it was made, so. Oh, and I like to explain something cool later. You might like what I'll explain. Okay, it works in practice. But let me show something here. Cool. And actually just go normally. You see this big area here, this big collision thing here, this area 2D. So what happens? That's is what I call in game like a. I don't remember the right name. Maybe I can check here. But that is some sort of control unlocker. Yes, it's actually called control unlocker. Basically on mobile, what happens is that you don't have all the controls unlocked. And let me try to explain. You see, only on the second part of the second level you learn that your character is able to run by pressing shift. And since the controls are actually visible on mobile, I didn't want to make so the player already knew there was a run function from the first level. So what I did is that I created those control lockers that made so when you pass this area, the control appears on screen, and now it starts appearing from the other levels. But of course, there's some limits to this. Like if the player goes to a level that is already obviously supposed to have the jump unlocked, the attack unlocked, it actually just unlocks for you automatically. So it's cool, I guess. It's a cool system, in my opinion. So yeah, now we have a working state machine for this enemy, and it's cool, right? Why do I have a custom script? Yeah, I made this from here, so that's why it has a custom script. Okay, so we have now the wood enemy state machine. It works. It works. So now, let's see. Now I have 6 minutes left to 10 p.m. and it's not good to spend that a lot of time on screens. And the reason why I'm just recording this video now is actually because I was at the mall with my family. Like, not only at the mall, since lunchtime we're already outside home, out of home. So it's just now that I'm finally using my laptop. And hey kids, it's not good staying a lot of time on screens, alright? So here's the deal. I'm going to turn off everything and go to bed. Surely do nothing more on my phone. Yes. Okay. I still would like to check how many views there in the last episode I published. I think like 8 views still. Those new series are a flop, but I like making those videos. Maybe I should explain stuff better to make those videos better. But I just like it, man. I honestly like making those videos. The only drawback I have is that sometimes I'm really unsatisfied with the video because I may say something personal, some mistakes, something I would not like venting about. Oh yeah, sometimes I end up venting on those video recordings. So I feel really insecure about publishing those videos here. But okay, I guess the video is done now, okay? This was a cool experiment, and I can't wait to actually keep up doing this to the other enemies, which let me actually just count how many other enemies there is with different states. So, the aggressive wood, which is the wood that plays on the second part of the first level. What do you mean that plays? It's the enemy that has on the second part, first level. And maybe I also want to do the same aggressive logic to the other enemies, but because the only reason why the wood is the only enemy that has a separate aggressive enemy, you know, for example, the slime enemy has the aggressive mode built into it because it's just such a sprite change and a speed boost. But the aggressive wood entirely changes the enemy, so that's why I separated it to a different scene. Okay, I may also want to do this for bosses, and I don't think I actually need to make this to this aggressive enemies besides the separate aggressive wood. And maybe I want to do this to the jumping slimes, maybe, because it involves a really yes. Oh my god, this sucks. I need to do this to this enemy too. And here for the second level, of course, we're going to add this to the to the boss, to the rock enemy, and the third level we're going to do this for the octopus probably, the boss, and justice because the remaining enemies are really easy. The car enemy of course needs this. The ghoul enemy of course needs this. The red enemy maybe needs this. The boss of course, and the toxic water is just a animation, so I don't think so. And here on level 5, yes, I am going to do this to the cat enemy, the bug enemy, of course, the bush enemy, maybe. I already forget how is the bush enemy, to be honest. Oh my god. Oh yeah, shoot the projectile. I don't think so. It's just, check for that thing that's happening, and then yeah. And I may want to delete those. I don't use those anymore. This base boss, base enemy, base projectile. This hazard hitbox, I can delete it. It's not being used anywhere. This skittable hazard 2. Not being used anywhere. Let's see if there's anything here though. Oh yeah, so since there's none of those things anymore, I can delete those. I basically have those still in the old GitHub, the new GitHub like branch I made before the code rewrite. So it's not like it will matter anyway, I guess. So okay, I think this works. I think that's done for today. I recorded 41 minutes. Okay, I'll just finish the video here. Give me questions so I can answer the next episode.